Chris, before I read your book, I thought negotiation was all about getting to yes.
Right. I think primarily because the word, since getting to yes has been published, the word yes has been weaponized against us. And Getting to Yes is a phenomenal negotiation book, and it's academically sound. And human beings are not academically sound. And there's something called the yes momentum or momentum selling. And the formula is get somebody to say yes 3 times in a row, and then ask for the deal, ask for the money, ask for the term. And you condition them to say yes. And each yes is a micro agreement or a tie down. And therefore, they have to say yes to the big yes. Would you like to make more money? Would you like to live in a bigger house? Would you like to drive a bigger car?
So how did you go from yes to no as an important instrument?
That's been weaponized so many times against people worldwide that it's become a trap. And people are yes abused. And so they react negatively to it. What happens with a battered child? Now, physiologically, one of the pillars of health is great relationships, and an indicator of great relationships are hugs of genuine affection. Somebody in your house, your significant other, you give your spouse a great hug, it's physically better for him or her. It actually is healing. You try to raise your arms to hug a battered child, they're going to flinch. You didn't mean for that to happen. You didn't cause that harm, that injury to them, and it's there. And that's why I believe the majority of the world is yes battered, because everybody's been hustled with yes. Everybody's been trapped, walked into a bear trap, a hook, a hidden trap door of some sort with the word yes. So the crazy flip side is people have also been conditioned that when they say no, they're safe. They feel safe and protected. So the act of saying no creates feelings of safety, a lack of negative emotions. Because if I'm not afraid if I feel safe. So you get me to say no, I'm going to be more comfortable. In point of fact, the stupid reality is if I say, does this look like something that would work for you? I'm trying to get you to say yes, and you're like, oh my God, well, how much have I committed myself? What's this going to cost me? If instead I say, does this look like a stupid idea? You'd be like, no, it doesn't. And you're going to start thinking about how to make it work. So getting somebody to say no helps them think. Trying to get somebody to say yes interferes with their thinking. The best analogy that I can make is the classic psychological experiment around Pavlov's dog. Russian experiment, they ring the bell. Pavlov had a dog, and they fed it every time they rang the bell. So you ring the bell, the dog salivates. Whether it's going to get fed or not, it becomes an almost instinctive reaction based on conditioning. I think, and they call that a Pavlovian response. I think the yes and no is a Pavlovian response. We actually have a PDF that we send out to people that lists the 10 most common yes questions to switch them to no.
Do you think it's too much to ask for you to share that PDF?
We'll make sure that we share it with you, and you can share it with all your listeners, your entire audience.
Did I do the questioning right?
You did it perfectly. Here's the thing what did I do when you asked me that no-oriented question? I talked to you about implementation. Share it with you, share it with your audience. I thought through how to get it done. And I did it automatically. And this works literally 999 times out of 1,000. It is the highest success rate, no-oriented question. It has a higher success rate in getting a response within 3 to 5 minutes.
What?
Have you given up on? You send that word for word in a text message. have you given up on? And some people say, I'm not being ghosted. They're just not getting back to me. All right, what's the difference? I'm not being ghosted. They haven't responded to my emails in 3 weeks. Yeah, ghosted you. Send a text. Now, what I have to do is I have to prepare them for the response because nobody believes they're going to respond in 3 to 5 minutes. One gentleman sent a text to his daughter who'd refused to talk to him for 6 years. She responded 3 minutes after seeing the text.
Wow.
But it so caught him off guard, he went back to talking to her in the same judgmental way that caused her to ghost him in the first place. So you got to be prepared for the response. Now, the people that are ghosting you, they're going to fall into 3 categories. About 20% of them, you're just not top of mind. It's a confusing, chaotic world. And if you could be top of mind again, they'll make the deal with you immediately. About 20% of the time. They're going to come back. No, I haven't given up. Let's do it now. Here are the terms. This is what I want. I'm ready to buy now. Whatever it is. I'm ready to close now. About 20%, roughly. 60% require nurturing from you. Labels, mirrors, summaries. Calling out the elephant in the room. In order to get that deal across the finish line, those people need some attention. They need the things that we've been talking about right now. A follow-up could be, probably feels like I haven't been listening to you. Because if you had been listening to them, they wouldn't be ghosting you. So about 60%. It's going to take a little bit of work, but the deal's there to be had. Now that leaves 20%. You are never going to get that deal. If it's a business deal, they're going to respond to you with, yeah, we moved on. They were afraid to tell you. They didn't know how to tell you. This triggers them in a really nice collaborative way to say, we moved on, we hired somebody else. We're not going to hire anybody. Sometimes they were doing it just due diligence. The one time in 1,000 they don't respond to at all, the answer is yes. They just don't want to tell you. They're embarrassed as to why the answer is yes. And that's why if you continue to get silence after that, have you given up on? The answer is yes. They're powerless on their side. They've lost the ability to make the deal, which embarrasses them.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, we're coaching a guy several years ago. He's got a deal for a health app for a major soft drink company. It's going to be a great app. It's going to make their people healthier. They're coming up on the end of the calendar year, and they're ghosting them. And he says, we got to close this by the end of the calendar year, because if they start a new calendar year, it's going to take 10 months again to get this closed. I need it now. They need it now. And we said, all right, send a guy a text. Have you given up on getting this closed by the end of the year? And we say, this always works, 999 times out of 1,000. No response. And this guy says, I thought you said it was going to work. I said, well, as a matter of fact, the answer is yes. He has given up. He says, yeah, but it's going to hurt this guy. It's going to hurt his career. I said, I don't know what's going on the other side, but he's embarrassed. There's a pretty good chance that there's something happened internally in their company, and he no longer has the ability to make the deal, and he's embarrassed to tell you. So let's proceed on that presumption. How do you get him out of the embarrassment? You send him an email. You have no choice. This starts over next year. You got no choice. Accept that reality. You don't like the truth, that's the truth. Send him an email. Tell him you want to take him out for a steak and a beer. You don't want to talk about business at all. You just want to sit down. You want to chill out. You want to have a good time. Now, if you promise him that you won't talk business, he'll bring it up. But you got to get him out of the office. You got to get it over a meal, just a couple of guys talking. And he says, okay, if that's the only way to salvage what's left, He gets this guy out for a steak and a beer. They talk and they have a few laughs. And the guy finally says, you know what? I've been worried about getting fired. They moved me into another position, and I'm fighting for my job. Here's the guy who can cut the deal for you. I'll make the introduction. I know I let you down. I appreciate you being so understanding. He made the introduction, and they ended up making the deal the next year.
Chris, let me just give you a scenario. Let's say I'm an entrepreneur and I'm selling protein bars. Do you think I could use this line of questioning to trigger a no to sell my protein bar, let's say using a billboard?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, are you against having better nutrition? That was one of the great marketing statements of all time.
If this clip gave you value, please subscribe to this channel so that we can keep bringing you game-changing business insights.